build your life around systems, not goals. This is a topic that's talked about in a book called, that was wordy, in a book called Atomic Habits uh, by James Clear. I read this a few years ago, so I may have a different interpretation of this, but what this saying, build your life around systems, not goals, what this saying means to me is we have this goal at the end of the day, whatever that goal may be. Maybe you want to become a professional dancer. Maybe you want to be a top developer. Maybe you want to complete a book. Maybe you have a weight loss goal and you want to lose a certain amount of weight. That's the goal. That's the product. It's what you want to accomplish, what you want to achieve. The thing is, goals are finite. You work towards this goal and then you reach it. And then what? So the goal is a product. At the end of the day, that's you achieve it, you accomplish it. But what's more important than the goal is actually the process. That's the system. What are you doing to get to that goal? A top dancer? Well, you'd probably be consistently practicing dance. And not like too much. Like not like you're not practicing 10 hours or maybe you are, I don't know. But you're probably starting off small at the very beginning and then slowly working your way up. A top developer, same thing. You're practicing coding, maybe you're building skills, whatever you're doing consistently until you get to a top developer position, whatever that may mean to you. Reading a book, same thing. You're reading a chapter, maybe like 15 minutes, but you're doing that consistently. Maybe you're reading a lot. Usually you start off small and then work your way up, and then you get to that end goal. But even if that end goal, you've got the end goal, you've got the goal, you've accomplished it, but that's okay, right? If you ask the question, what's next? Then you're like, well, I've got the system in place. Now let's go on to another goal. The system is the important part, the process. When you're doing it when you're making sure that actually, let's talk about the system itself. What does that system consist of? And really, they're just repeated actions, habits that you're doing consistently. So now, let's get down to how we can actually implement this in our own lives. The system is based off small, sustainable habits. You're taking small actions and making sure to stay consistent with that action, whether that's every day, every other day, once a week, whatever timeline you have for yourself. And you can work your way up, right? Yeah, as you feel, you're like, 15 minutes a day for a book, that's okay. I can read 1 hour a day, right? You set the standard for yourself because you know your own capacity. But if you're struggling at the very beginning, you want to make sure you're setting a small and sustainable action. And then with that consistency, with that repeated behavior, it becomes a habit. You have built a system for yourself. And then you can apply those systems anywhere. There's another concept of habit stacking. And it's the idea that you build your new habits on top of existing habits that you have. So, for example, I do work, and then I try and exercise. Exercise is the habit that I struggle with, so it's the habit that I have built on top of work, the existing habit I've already kind of just built in. That's kind of just been drilled into me. So, with that, I want to end off with something James Clear mentioned in this book. I think it's very profound and powerful. You don't rise to your goals, you fall down to your systems. So just keep that in mind. Systems are a very powerful concept, and it's a mindset shift that I think really it really improved my outlook in terms of how I should be structuring my life.